Hey Skiba News Nation family, please make sure you like, subscribe, and share with others so we can grow the biggest truth-seeking community on the internet. Also, huge shout out to all of our Patreons. It's because of you guys we're able to do what we do. And if you want some extra content, please go to patreon.com/Skiba News Nation. We love you guys.
Welcome to Skiba News Nation, bringing you unfiltered views, news, interviews, discussions, and more. And now, here's your host, Jeremiah Skiba, award-winning musician and son of Rob Skiba.
With the son of the legendary Rob Skiba, Jeremiah Skiba, what's up?
With my great and insightful co-host, Mr. Jake Grant.
Dude, someone should do conspiracy news. It would be 10 times better than what you see on television.
It's like I don't even want to wake up.
He's on a quest for truth.
Hey, Skiba News Nation family. Welcome to episode 164 of Skiba News Nation. I'm your host, Jeremiah Skiba, and your co-host, Jake Grant. What's up? How are you doing, Jake?
What's up? Oh, I'm good. I'm so glad to be home, man. I really liked our trip to Florida, but it was like Florida did not want me to leave. I was trying to get back the other day, and check this out. My tire blew, and it was really good that my tire blew up because it turned out my other tire needed to be changed as well. So I avoided a catastrophic, accident by, Florida's roads bumping me into this crazy scene here. Like, I've never seen a pop tire look this bad.
My Mustang did that one time, and the tires were overfilled, or the atmosphere changed, or whatever you want to call it, changed. And it was the worst. And I was in the far left lane, and I had to get all the way over to the right.
Cruising in the Mustang, what a beautiful day. Whoa, what was that? No, the tires. Hold on.
It was a pain.
Man. But hey, it was all worth it. Honestly, when bad stuff like that starts to happen, at first it's like easy to get frustrated and upset, but I've gone through enough bad things like this in my life that I've started to just take them as blessings in disguise, right? Like, there was one year my brakes went out on our RV. We were going down this mountain, had my whole family with me. We're going down this mountain to go camping for Passover, and so brakes went out and I almost crashed, but I was able to lock it up and, slow it down right before we hit this big intersection and get clobbered by a semi. We got our RV towed to a mechanic to fix the brakes. And then the next day, a flash flood hit the campground we were going to be at. It would have totaled our RV, which was brand new at the time. But just because a bad thing happens doesn't mean it's a bad thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Maria, there were more than 150 people on that retreat. They're all now safely sheltered. Earlier, they were shuttled off here to the First Baptist Church Family Life Center. And they told me earlier today that everything happened very quickly.
Within 2-3 minutes, turned around and the entire camp was underwater.
A rapidly rising river, truly roaring today, swept away anything in its path, leaving behind scattered debris and only faint reminders of a campsite.
People lost pretty much all of their tents. Everything was washed away. People with their vehicles, lost a lot of things.
Within 10 minutes, waters reached waist levels, powerful enough to flip cars and push them away.
What was gravel before became a river, and people were swimming across. It was up to your chest, and it was it's pretty intense.
Fleeing campsites instantly became a priority.
It came a lot faster than what I could evacuate. I mean, we evacuated and we got everybody out safely, but it was very, very difficult and very, very fast.
I don't know what I might have dodged if my tires had kept on treading, but they definitely.
Yeah, you just don't keep driving on it. That's the key. Don't keep driving if it's
yeah.
already blown out, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So,
well,
I got a cool video of our trip, and I was going to want to play it for you guys again. If you guys watched the last live stream, I played
Let's
this.
see.
Skiba. Second spot from language tried to lobotomize the nation. Hospital protocols.
We're hanging out in the villages. There's my team. In the white Mustang. I'm gonna ride in the back, I think. I don't know.
Push the button, smash subscribe. Feed the Patreon beast. Marinating forbidden truth till your balls drop at least.
Watch his face right here.
It's the edge of the world. And all of that shit civilization. Every new show starts at 7. At least the red pills hit like nuclear detonation. Skiba News.
Jake definitely wants to lightsaber battle this guy, and it's gonna be awesome.
Crazy.
I'll see. Okay, so a little backstory. So Monty says the best. He says, me and you, I mean, we were getting all the attention, and so he went to his car and got this lightsaber. And so that's how he tells the story. And he was like the outsider looking in, and so he just wanted to be acknowledged. And then you went up to a video here shortly. Come on, Jake. I know you've been practicing. Come on, man.
Gotta work on my saber skills.
Come on, man. Faster. You got this.
It's harder than it looks. It's harder than it looks. The golf cart culture there was crazy, man. We'll have to talk about that a little bit.
Check this out. It's like a freak show, but a truther.
I had to mute it. It's like a freak show, but truther. So we had no idea that we were in the presence of royalty. Gold
Known him
medalist.
for years.
Olympic.
Oh, man.
Freeman!
Shout out Freeman.
He's on
A lot of people who
Wikipedia.
have been at the conferences over the years have met Freeman, at least the ones that I've been at. And man, I guess this whole time, you know, maybe he told me at one point, and I just forgot, but I had no idea.
I need to be friends. We all need to be friends. I would be friends with the Fizz Flag. He blocks me. So I can't be friends. But yeah, he thinks that you're Jeffrey Dahmer. He thinks your dad didn't pass. Yep. So I mean, I don't even know how to square those things. But I guess there's some danger to it. I wonder if it's inherently nefarious though, because if you. It's demonic. Well, yeah. Because something is whispering in your ear and pushing you towards these ideas, and they are self-destructive and destructive to the community. But I think like we have this tendency to that. I think we have this tendency in the conspiracy community, like if you're a truther or whatever the idea is, whatever catchphrase you want to use, where like once you start going down these holes and you realize that everything is predominantly a lie, or at least the mainstream narrative is a lie. Great Rob Skiba who passed, and you said something interesting on, I think it was your episode of Tinfoil Hat, where you didn't.
Everybody brings up my tinfoil hat.
When you were younger.
Yeah.
And
I thought it was crazy.
Yeah. So we only have a little bit of time, and I kind of wanted you to talk about this idea that, was it the world being exposed as basically exactly what your dad said it was, or was there something else at play that made you realize he was right? What was that like?
I just remember him telling me the first time that the Earth was flat, and I was like, "You're crazy, dude!" Like, what the?
Biblical cosmology, right? That's
biblical
the terminology he used. Yeah.
And yeah, I just remember. I guess you would say like I was in the world, like I was into music. I was a musician, and so like I'm still discovering his work because of it, and it's kind of a weird circle of life, you know?
Yeah, but it's an interesting legacy to leave behind. It's something that I think about because many of you have seen my 11-year-old running around here with a golden pistol, and I go, you know, right
Pretty
now,
cool.
Dad's all fun and games, or sometimes he's not when he wants to.
Yeah, he went up to Owen and said, "Bang! I shot a giant."
A lot of slurs, but also I like to think an elephant tits. Shout out to elephants with the sweet tits, and gonna have that too. But all kinds
I'll give you a
of
shout
other
out.
things
So
that,
shout out
that
Jake.
I picked up that people
Thanks, man.
who have come before me.
Yeah, there's the
have laid
aliens
down.
guy,
We
and
talked
I'm now the
about
elephant
Mike
titties
Heiser,
guy.
and we mentioned Rob Skiba.
Hey,
So
there are
many
worse
of these
things to be
people
remembered for.
have talked about these things, and now, you know, we're up here talking about, I don't know, it's just an interesting legacy to leave behind. I mean, it's a legacy that points to Christ, which is hugely important. I mean, it's the most important thing. But yeah, I mean, if that feeling of epiphany, like I'm sure that you had, as the world started to reveal itself to you as what your father had said, if that feeling goes away, that's a little bit of a bummer. So it's reassuring to me to hear what Ed's saying, which is like eternity is still going to be growing and learning and having these experiences and developing and growing closer to the Lord. So I'm grateful for that.
So he wants us to come back on their show and talk about it. Doc Brown,
Yeah.
what's up, man? You got a book?
Had a good conversation with him.
It's cool seeing everybody from the waist down, you know, because we're used to seeing people from the waist up on the shows. This dude got a tattoo of Charlie, and I was like, dude, you're awesome.
Nice. Met a real life Nephilim there. It's good. He came, became a friend with the Nephilim Death Squad.
Not over.
I'm hooked on a feeling. We can't go on together with suspicious minds. We can build our dreams.
That was such a great moment, man. Sun was setting. It was so beautiful outside.
Yep. I know. You know, without him, I wouldn't know that there are 26 I knows in that song. And so now you know what it's like to have two Jeremiahs or two versions of me around you all the time, and it would drive you crazy.
Are you sure he's not just a time traveler of you in the future?
He could be,
Is
but
that-
my nose is crooked and his isn't.
Well, you know
So
what
he-
Epstein did to become, Palm Beach Pete. He did a little facial thing. Maybe that's you in the future. Did a little bit of nose job just so that you could come back and hang with yourself.
He could be, but I mean, he's much better looking. No, I'm just
But I'm so glad Monty came. Yeah, we had a blast, man, and getting to ride around in that convertible and do
And,
some
you know-
karaoke. Oh man,
I know. Well, it's funny because when I was a kid, and he said the same thing happened to him. Everybody called me Mr. Bean when I was a kid. He said I look like him, and it made me so mad. And he said the same thing about him. So I just made Mr. Bean freaking cool, man. That's how you do it. I mean, I wonder what he's singing right there. You know?
Teddy bear. So
He wouldn't really talk, I don't think, in the show. Here you go.
he would make like little.
I'm gay. Huh?
What do you think Mr. Bean's deficit was? Like what? Why was he that way?
Down syndrome, I think.
Not a Bean syndrome.
No, just Down.
Oh, he's just
Down syndrome. Yeah. What are you, Down syndrome? That's where I would normally put my norm button. Anyways,
Nice. Yeah.
I can't believe you
had a
still
great
can't
time.
hear that. You still can't hear this, can you?
Oh, guys, I'm some kind of tone deaf person. Jeremiah's been playing this beep, and he says he's actually playing it, but I don't believe him. Still, I think you're just messing with me.
Okay, guys in the chat, let me know if you hear the smoke alarm. That might be a problem, dude. And Sierra hears it though, and so does Lindsay. So we're gonna have to clean those ears out.
Oh boy. Yeah,
Next-
that makes
next
me
boys trip.
concerned. Like, if there's ever an alarm going off of a smoke alarm, I'm not gonna know. People are gonna be like, "We gotta get out. We gotta. The house is burning down." I'll be like, "What? Sounds the same to me." You know, what's different? Why are you alarmed right now?
Well, I will say you will sleep through anything. And for our boys trip, we did draw a Sharpie all over your face, but we took some photos and then we cleaned you all off. So it's okay.
Oh, wow. That's why my skin was so soft that one day. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, what did you draw? What did you draw on my face?
Nothing.
Don't worry about it. Okay.
Don't worry about it. Just maybe a couple swastikas, but
The earth isn't flat on my forehead. How embarrassing. Yeah, man. You want to get into some interesting news stories this week?
let's do it.
Let's hit the news segment intro.
Hey, make way! Jake Grant is on the way for Skiba News Nation. He brings the situation.
Yeah.
So I wanted to show this video just because on our trip, I remember bringing up the topic of the men who stare at goats.
Sounds familiar, but I don't remember the men who stare. Like, for real, they stare at goats? Just staring at them?
Yeah. Well, it's actually the name of a movie. And the movie talks about these guys in the 80s and 90s who were trained to remote control view through the Stargate program or whatever. And so there was this interview clip that I saw of somebody talking to the guy who actually the movie The Men Who Stare at Goats was based on. And I thought the movie was really funny because at the end of the movie, like, they get a whole military base high on acid and then they fly off in a helicopter. Like, it's a whole thing. But anyways, this is the actual guy who the story was based off of. And it talks about how the U.S. military has been engaging in these secret programs to basically remote view, kill people, and do different crazy things. But it's very interesting. Check this out.
You are the inspiration for Cassidy and the Men Who Stared at Goats.
Yeah.
And in the movie, he stops a goat's heart. He kills a goat.
In the movie, he did.
Did you ever kill a goat?
I didn't do that. That was another sergeant, and it actually happened.
No way.
But I didn't do it.
You wouldn't have
and
done
the
that.
thing is, you in the movie, you see him leaving in the helicopter. From what I've heard, the guy who did kill the goat experienced dying with the goat.
Whoa.
And it upset him so much that in the end, he stole a helicopter and disappeared, and they haven't looked for him since.
No way.
And what he did with the helicopter, I don't know. But they said he's disappeared, and they haven't looked for him.
So the guy killed the goat, felt some sort of symbiotic coupling of feeling with the goat, went through his own death
with him, yeah.
And then got so psychologically disturbed that he stole a helicopter and was never seen again.
That's the story that I hear from the grapevine.
Who was this guy?
Oh, he was just one of the sergeants that was in the 1st Earth Battalion.
Wow.
They were doing all kinds of stuff like that.
Do you remember anybody, like, did he have a boss or?
Jim Channon, yeah.
Jim Channon was this guy's boss.
Yeah. Wow. I know how to do it. And I won't teach it to anybody.
It's better than men.
That's a scary prospect. So you think teams of remote viewers can literally kill other people and animals?
A single remote viewer can.
A single remote viewer can.
And the scary part is it is so easy to do.
So that's freaky, first of all.
Yeah.
Second of all, I'm sure there are a whole host of skeptics out there who are saying, why are not world leaders dropping like flies? You know?
Well, because why are world leaders dropping like flies? Okay. Because we know what they want. We know what they're going to do and all that. You drop one of them, you get an unknown in. And you have to start all over. The intelligence services have to start all over. No, you want to keep them.
So you think if somebody gets out of hand enough, like if you were to replay World War II, presumably if, the Allies had this capability by 1941 or 2, they would have remote view tried to kill Hitler.
Oh yeah, and
no.
Hitler was already working on this. The Russians, after they got all of this, had a woman named Nina Kalogina who was stopping the hearts of rats and rabbits and things like that, and wound up dying of a heart attack, by the way. But she was already working on that. The Russians were working on it to have their troops be able to look across the battlefield and kill their enemies by stopping their hearts.
You realize this takes mutually assured destruction to a whole new level.
Oh yeah,
it goes well beyond
oh yeah
nuclear capabilities.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
It's so crazy. So it's almost like the world's pretty locked down on a go forward basis. If you can do this at will, it's not just nukes. It's, you know, we might have pandemics. We might have sort of asymmetric, you know, bizarre attacks, which, you know, are horribly destructive. But the idea of all out war seems pretty hard if you can just at will decapitate, you know, your
well,
enemy's
yeah,
leader.
and it already is. You know, the thing is, we don't need tanks and airplanes at all anymore. We can change the weather anywhere in the world. The Russians have earthquake weapons. They can cause an earthquake at Yellowstone that'll wipe out the center U.S. If they cause an earthquake on La Palma Island that's strong enough, the side of that volcano is already split off 5 feet. If it falls into the ocean, it's facing the U.S. If it falls into the ocean, 15 cubic kilometers of land will hit the ocean all at once. And the U.S. Geological Service has predicted that that would cause a tsunami that in some places would wipe out up to 26 miles inland on the east U.S. coast. That's already known by the U.S. Geological Service.
Whether people think he's full of it or they do believe that there was a program of basically the Men Who Stares at Goats movie where they try to, you know, use their brains to kill and stop people's hearts across the world. I think it's interesting the other things he tacks on at the end of this little interview, where he talks about the ongoing supernatural powers that governments absolutely provably have, like controlling the weather, earthquakes, and, you know, the ability to create massive tsunamis.
Hey, what do you think is worse, men who stare at goats or men that bestiality with goats?
Oh, well, I would say I'd take a goat staring man over a goat.
Okay. Good. So I can still be your friend. Okay. Sweet.
Oh man. Yeah, that's just the, you know, the people that get extremely frustrated that the goat won't die and they've stared at it far too long and somehow they develop romantic feelings for it. You know, that those people need to be just kicked out of all society. And you know, the scripture, death penalty is how you deal with a bestiality, you know, minded person. So.
One of my favorite Norm jokes was there's a word for that. Like, it's so crazy that humans had to make a word for bestiality. Like, it's so disgusting. Isn't that crazy?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, man. The world can get pretty sick and backwards, especially in small niche inbred cultures, kind of like we've talked about recently.
Yeah.
But you know, talking about this information of advanced technologies and how military powers are kind of preempting and preparing for where the world's headed as nations can use these technologies. And like the guy said, they don't kill the leader of a country because they have all the intelligence information on him. If they killed him, then he's just going to be replaced by some unknown or somebody that they can't manipulate as well. But there is actual news. Now, I know that was just kind of a conspiracy interview, you know, trying to dig up the truth of the Men Who Stare at Goats topic. But check this out. Drone swarms over Langley Air Force Base didn't surprise the general in charge of NORAD. So this is really interesting. This came out just August 12th. And a retired General Van Herk said he warned even the Secretary of Defense that U.S. military installations are sitting ducks to drone swarms. And we've already seen implementation of certain missile technologies from Iran that were able to zoom past the Iron Dome and zoom past U.S. military defenses in Jordan, for example. They have those kind of like, corkscrew missiles, and then right at the last minute they go hypersonic and like shoot down, and it's just crazy the technology. But seeing that they're posting articles like this in various news sources, it shows me that they're preemptively preparing the American psyche for drone attacks at home. And like, God forbid Iran or some nation like Russia or China shows up off the coast and releases 1,000 drones. And we've seen what China has been doing with their drone swarm displays and fireworks. But deep down, I think we're all kind of aware that they are also training for military capability. It's not just to entertain the public. And just imagine what military capability these drone swarms that they've been, working with AI to kind of perfect their synchronicities in the sky. I mean, these things, it is the sound of post-traumatic stress disorder of the modern age, is the sound of a flying drone going, And that was actually an ongoing topic at the Nephilim Death Squad conference. Like after we were done, we were all hanging out. I think Owen Benjamin or maybe Coddington Bear brought up this topic of like, I literally showed the video in our last episode of a Ukrainian guy running away from a drone, and it's like hunting him, and it's just this ongoing propaganda war to show that Ukraine or Russia are transgressing against Geneva Convention type rules, and they're targeting civilian infrastructure, civilians in general. And then we showed that poor guy, he was really out of shape, trying to dodge a drone, but it got him. But, fortunately, according to the news story, he survived, but not everyone does. In fact,
Allegedly.
Yeah. And so it's interesting to me. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because recently we had General Secretary of War Pete Hegseth released this new CyberCom 2.0 announcement on the official Department of War YouTube channel. And this only came out just a few days ago. But listen to some of his language as he describes the implementation of this new iteration of cyber warfare, because it's not just military war technology. It's the ability for AI to hack into governments and influence infrastructure and stuff like that.
Last fall, I directed the largest transformation for U.S. Cyber Command and their cyber forces in over 16 years. We call it CyberCom 2.0. We remain laser focused on restoring peace through strength. But victory does not solely depend on our warfighting platforms. To win, our policies, our processes, and warfighting posture must adapt to the realities of cyberspace. In this evolving domain, relying on how we've done things in the past, well, it guarantees tomorrow's defeat. CyberCom 2.0 is an operational imperative that ensures our cyber power is a lethal and ready weapon of choice. It directly aligns our cyber force generation model with our national defense strategy. This is a deliberate choice designed to deter and, if necessary, defeat our adversaries in the digital domain with decisive and overwhelming effects. Every physical domain, air, land, sea, and space, depends on our cyber superiority. By forging expert cyber forces with deep technical mastery, we ensure that commanders have the capabilities that they need to dominate the modern battlefield. And to achieve this vision, we must first solve our core challenge, an outdated talent management system that fails to fully support our most critical asset, and that's our people, our cyber warriors. We must recognize that continuing with legacy processes is a vulnerability, and settling for the status quo, well, that's a direct path to failure. As we all know, change requires difficult things, and leaders willing to step up into the breach to knock down bureaucratic roadblocks. That's why we're ripping out the bureaucratic debris and replacing one-size-fits-all career paths and incentives with a system built strictly on meritocracy, technical excellence, and uncompromising standards. Now, I recently had a chance to visit U.S. Cyber Command, and what I saw were exceptional cyber warriors actively engaged across the cyber domain, integrating across the joint force, as demonstrated through Operations Absolute Resolve and Operation Epic Fury, on the cutting edge of technological advancement and at the forefront of modern warfare.
Okay, so I'm just going to pause his statement there because I remember several months ago we covered this Palantir-backed situational war room where they could use AI to basically assassinate anybody on Earth, and it was like $1 million a day, like the whole thing. Well, here's the AI Maven Palantir-powered U.S. military capability for striking Iran, and this is just a video demonstrating kind of some of the things Cyber Command 2.0 is implementing.
In this episode, we explore how Palantir's AI-powered Maven system helped the US military carry out precision strikes in Iran, reshaping modern warfare. Donald Trump recently used his Truth Social platform to publicly praise Palantir Technologies, calling its systems highly effective in warfare and suggesting adversaries are already aware of its capabilities. The endorsement reflects a broader shift. Artificial intelligence is no longer just a productivity tool. It is becoming central to how wars are planned and executed. This transformation was on display during the recent Iran conflict, where AI-assisted systems played a key operational role. Before strikes were carried out, software processed vast volumes of satellite imagery, drone feeds, and intelligence data to generate more than 1,000 potential strike options. What once required days of human analysis was reduced to minutes, dramatically accelerating the pace of decision-making. At the center of this capability is Palantir's Maven Smart System, MSS, a sophisticated command and control platform. Maven integrates intelligence streams from across the military, army, navy, air force, and even space-based assets into a unified system. It can identify, track, and classify targets, such as vehicles, infrastructure, and weapons with remarkable speed, often reducing identification time to under a minute.
Okay, so what's interesting is this is a video describing AI Maven systems that were able to be used in Iran strikes, but it's an AI generated video with an AI generated voice with AI generated images.
Yeah.
And we're digesting this AI just mass produced fodder, and at the same time it is real. It is something that they're applying.
It is real.
It is
real, Jake. It is real. And there are
real.
YouTube channels out there they're all AI. Like every piece of it, the thumbnail, the video, like you said, everything. And it's like not just one, it's like thousands, hundreds of thousands probably.
Yeah, we really need to do a deep dive episode on how the internet has been replaced by this AI amorphous organism, and it just ate everything that used to be there and is regurgitating it out. But we're trying to trick ourselves in believing it's all organic interaction, but literally everything's bots nowadays. Everything is.
If we thought it was real at all, that's the thing. Dead internet theory makes so much sense today. Like, I don't think it was ever real.
It is. It's very interesting. And just to tack on a kind of a current news story to some of these clips, apparently Flock cameras are now going to be contracting with these AI taxi services. So not only is Flock putting up all
Waymo?
these yes. So not only are they putting up these monitoring cameras all over the states, but they're going to be using the hubs and the dashboards of these different AI taxi services and other services that have cameras in cars and stuff, because yes, they have the Flock cameras on the poles, but they need to get mobile. And I'm sure it's only a matter of time before you're also going to have these roaming robot guard dogs and these Tesla bots able to be accessed by these Flock services. Hopefully Elon will stand up against them, but you know, it could also help the computing power of his centralized AI god, you know, so.
Well, it's all about money. All
Oh,
about
yeah.
money.
Here's an interesting video that is coming out of Northwest Indiana right now. And apparently there is enormous lines of people hoarding gas and lining
So this
up.
is Northwest Indiana, and we still have no power with nothing in sight coming back on. And this is the gas station line. People are fighting over gas. Please take only what you need and leave the rest for others.
Well,
Please.
why?
So this is Northwest Indiana, and we still have
So I'm trying to figure out, it's after some storms that caused power outages, but apparently they're not able to get gas in, and you know,
Maybe
this
for like
is,
generators or something? It can't be all for
Yeah.
the cars.
let me see, long gas lines, possible fuel shortages following severe storms in Northwest Indiana. So this is just after, like, you know, some storms knocked out their power grid.
Well, I know the lady that we interviewed yesterday, she said that there's a tornado that went through her area, and I can't remember exactly where it was, but it was like really bad, and she had to record via her phone.
So yeah, and while this is just a localized event, I think seeing scenes like this can make us mindful of how we should be prepared if this ever happens where, you know, where I live or where you live. Because if you don't have gas on hand, if you always ride the empty symbol and something happens where you can't fill up, you know, you're going to be stuck. And so I think
gas does go bad. I learned that the hard way.
It does what?
It does go bad.
Oh,
You leave
gas
outside.
goes bad. Oh, man, how much did you lose? Were you stocking
A
up
lot.
barrels or something?
A lot.
Oh, shoot.
Apparently my dad was, for like the end of the world, I guess, but water had seeped into it. It's like if it has any kind of like, I don't know, any way that anything could get into it, it's kind of, you're kind of screwed. But like a jug of gas should be fine. You know.
Yeah, I always thought it was so cool. You know, Rob had that situation room. He was preparing to take care of you and your whole family and everybody down there. Like now it's just you and Lindsay, like, looking out for each other. So you guys don't need as much of a stockpile, I guess.
Well, the thing is, if it was the end of the world, I'd just go right outside, you know? Like, I don't care. I'd rather see y'all on the other side, if you catch my drift.
Oh, you're telling me you wouldn't want to Mad Max it out? It's like the perfect time to really step into your style.
Yeah, I would for a couple months, maybe. I don't know if I got time for that.
Speaking of, you know, these AI technologies, there was a really funny scene that happened in Donald Trump's office where this girl standing next to him looks like a robot that has a button on her belly to like wake the Donald up when he falls asleep. And I was like, no way. There's no way. This is crazy. This is so crazy. So look at this girl next to Trump. The way she moves and is looking like, I get it. She could just have a bunch of extra makeup on. But that looks like a bot. She looks like a robot. Those are normal people, and that's the robot girl.
She got a button on her belly? Is that what you said?
Yeah, so there was a scene here where Trump is like dozing off and he falls asleep and she like pats her belly and he like jolts awake. Obviously could be just coincidence, but here's why why I'm interested when people are like pointing stuff like this out, because for sure they are creating these lifelike skin, moving eyes, all with robotic mechanics behind the surface, right? So, you know, a realistic AI sex worker bot, basically. And, you know, if you put her in the same outfit as that girl that was standing next to Trump, like, she would look basically the same. You know, it's either lots of makeup or she's a robot, one or the other. You know, there was transvestigation. Now we're doing AI investigation.
You should make a t-shirt that says that. From transvestigation to AI investigation. But we still look at trans.
So there was a series of interesting celestial events that happened and are happening this month. But yesterday in particular, there was a really interesting alignment of the planets, all kind of in a line up across the sky. Right before sunrise, you'd have a new moon. And during the day, there was a solar eclipse. Did you hear about this, Jeremiah?
I heard about it, but I haven't seen anything about it.
You know I'm a skateboarder, Jeremiah, but somebody captured this moment yesterday. Truly, truly amazing. Look at this. He literally skateboarded on the sun. Like the epic things that mankind has done. This is one of the most epic skateboarding shots I've ever seen. Yeah, I was so
screaming at him.
Yeah, they're like, go, go, go! It's lined up! It's lined up! Don't miss the shot!
Boom.
Yeah, man. Like I love that he was able to do this. So it was an
Two of your
Olympic
favorite things:
skateboarder.
skateboarding and the solar stuff.
Yeah, okay, like it all lined up perfectly. How amazing, amazing. So yeah, he literally like rides up on it. Just this moment, like you know what this reminds me of, Jeremiah, is there was an old crucifixion story movie, like from like I think it was either the 60s or the 70s. They had this once in a lifetime cinematic shot where a solar eclipse happened right at the time that they had an actor playing Jesus and the two thieves on a cross. And the director only had 2 minutes to get that moment. And he like they lined everything up and they waited for it. And they got the shot for the crucifixion moment where the sun goes dark. But I will say, man, this moment, like I want to get a poster of this on my wall. Like I love, like Sierra and I saw both of the eclipses that crossed the U.S. together, the one in 2017 and the one in 2024. And man, I don't know if there's.
That was one of the most fun moments that I've ever had with Opa and my mom together, was the one in 2024. But it was so short. But we were sitting outside, and it just, all the wildlife was like weirded out. Like everything was like weird. It's very strange.
Yeah, it gets very surreal, and you start to see those like half crescents, like leaves and everything start casting these really weird shadows. But hey, man, there's an eclipse coming up next year, 2027, and it's supposed to be the coolest eclipse like in the next 100 years. And it's going to happen in Egypt right over the Great Pyramids. And so like I'm going to put the request out here now, like if anybody wants to fly me and Jeremiah over to see the eclipse. Would you go, Jeremiah? Would you go if somebody helped us get over there?
Yeah, I'd definitely go see the pyramids and the eclipse. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, apparently it's going to be the longest eclipse in recent history and in the future history. Like it's like a 7-minute long totality right over Central Egypt. And
I don't know, because that's where it could all start. The end could all start right there, you know? Who knows?
See, I had that same fear whenever I went to see the big X marks the spot eclipse that was over the US. But lo and behold, I was like, whatever. If this is where it's going to start, I'm going to be there. So we went to the literal X marks the spot, like that everybody was worried about near Carbondale, Illinois. And we went like right to where the big cross would have happened, and nothing happened. So my opinion is, these are signs, and they're warnings in the heavens. We don't know what they'll be, but prophecy's 2020 in hindsight. So if the thing in the sky is a sign for something in the future, it's less likely a sign of something that'll happen right at that moment. I think it's like a foreboding warning, and eclipses like collectively bring all of mankind's mindsets together, and it makes us for just a few minutes just contemplate the things we don't understand, and it makes us a little bit humbler. Like we're just like, wow, the Most High literally made the moon and the sun where they could create this celestial beautiful thing that it's just it's amazing. So that happened yesterday.
Very cool. Now, was that you on the skateboard?
No, that was the Olympian.
Oh, you should have said yes. You
Not the
probably
one
got-
we know, though, apparently.
Uh-huh.
Shout out to Freeman, on our trip, man. We didn't get to talk much about it when you showed the video, but man, Freeman has always been along for this ride. Like I've known him since like maybe 2018, 2019. He was at a lot of the conferences Rob would go to, and just a really sweet guy, super cool. And I had no idea he was an Olympian gold medalist winner.
Yeah, well, first, you know how he brought it up to me? He was like, I met Hillary Clinton. I was like, what? You met Hillary Clinton? And he has cerebral palsy, and sometimes he's hard to understand, so I have to ask him a couple of times. But I heard this pretty clear, and it was, I met Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton because I was a Paralympic gold medalist. Jake knows, and apparently you didn't know.
I didn't know. He's a humble guy. Let's just put it that way. I mean, he wasn't bragging at all.
But he's the sweetest guy in the world, and Freeman, we love you. And I definitely made it up to him for some of the, people not, we'll just leave it at that. But it was a great time hanging out with him.
Yeah, let's just say, without going into details, that Freeman had a mic drop at the end of the Bohemian Grove event. He just dropped his mic and walked out. But that's what you get. Comedians up there, they're trying to do their best, making fun of people. But sometimes you make fun of the wrong person in the wrong way, and it doesn't hit home. But nobody is to blame in that situation, I think.
Yeah.
I think Freeman had no idea what he was getting into when he showed up at the conference. And
I don't think I've ever heard him say the F word either.
He was like, they're so gay. They're all joking about gay stuff. Man, these people are like gay. But we know that they're mocking sodomy and like just the squirt boy situation of our culture as it is. But I think him like not being familiar with the audience and style, like it's entertaining to see how it's.
I'm gonna make a shirt that says squirt culture now. I've never heard that before.
Yeah. Well, hey,
is that a real thing?
I think Owen might have coined that, but if not, then sure, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I made the We Ate Charlie Kirk shirt. He liked it.
Check this out, Jeremiah. Just recently, we've been talking about this ongoing issue of Zionism and American politicians that are bought and sold by, the Anti-Defamation League and all these other kind of special interest groups. Well, did you know that tens of thousands of anti-Zionist rabbis recently gathered in the Barclays Center in New York City to say that the Zionist regime is criminal and an occupying gang that does not represent Jewish people? So pretty interesting. Check this out. This is all of the New York style Jews, urban Amish, gathering to denounce Zionism as we inherited it from the Rothschilds.
We love foreskins. And eating them.
Yeah, that was the gathering of all the urban Amish.
Was that Madison Square Garden?
Barclays, the Barclays Center.
That's crazy.
Oh man. Here's an interesting clip. Just recently, apparently, Iran was targeting Trump's Air Force One, and he had to be swapped out into a secret truck and flown out on a different airplane because somebody leaked the places he was going to be visiting and such. But here was Joe Rogan when he started talking about it. I think he pointed out some of the interesting points regarding the topic.
Apparently, the video.
There was this plot where Iran was trying to kill Trump. Remember when he was supposed to get in the Air Force One that Qatar gave him?
Mm-hmm.
And then instead he flew in the old Air Force One.
Okay.
Well, they're saying that he actually didn't even go in the old Air Force One, that they snuck him out on a truck.
Okay.
Like some fucking cargo truck.
Okay.
And then put him in another kind of plane and flew him out of there. And then they put the press in Air Force One because they were apparently worried they were going to target Air Force One as well. So imagine
that is the funniest Trump thing ever, though.
On Air Force One.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I know he's about to crack up about it. The people that leaked that he was going to be in a certain place, he's like, all right, let's put the mainstream boys. Let's make sure CNN sitting at the very front of the airplane with the least likely survival chance, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And they were thinking about possibly targeting them.
Holy shit.
He hid in an airport catering container and was taken to a military jet for a secret flight out of the country after the NATO summit last month. And this is being reported by the New York Times. The thing is, though, I think they put the press on Air Force One. So if they flew him out, it was because they were worried they were going to try to take down Air Force One. And they took the press.
If you take the press off, then they know that we know. Gotta let them. Let them know that
You're right,
we're
Jamie.
not playing games. It's just everything's normal.
Exactly.
Something's on
And
there.
if the press dies, so sad.
Oh my!
But you just get more press.
God, that's wild.
If that's true, that is so wild that he didn't even tell them, "Hey guys, we're not really gonna get on this plane. No one's getting on this plane. You guys get out of here. Go take American Airlines home." No, he's like, "Hop on. It's safe.
Yeah,
it's Air Force One."
Guys, my gift to you: take Air Force One. Enjoy it. There's food up. There's sandwiches on there. Enjoy yourself.
Is that absolutely what happened?
It says reporters on the older plane were not told that Mr. Trump had not flown with them from Turkey to an airbase in Britain, making them unwitting participants in the ruse and leaving them along with some White House staff members to serve as unknowing decoys.
Holy
shit. They arrived in Britain. He was secret.
That's so crazy. But what a like a chess move. Just I know we covered this like the day it happened, but then like finding out that it was even more of like this gambit, you know, move Trump secretly back and forth, escape the targeting. Although it makes me think if they actually intended to shoot Air Force One out of the sky and then he put the press on Air Force One, then it makes me think that it was somebody in relation to the press that may have been colluding and leaking information, because they would have then, you know what, been like, oh, he's not here, don't do it, or, you know, please don't blow me up, you know, I'm your inside guy, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, have you seen the video of it where they transport him right out? It's pretty insane.
So there's an actual clip of them like sneaking him out.
He goes into the plane, they shut the door, and then he goes down one of the escapes, and Secret Service is like distracting everybody, and then this truck backs up and goes somewhere else. And it was
Hold on, I have got to see this video. So let me see. Video of him.
Where did I see it this morning? I saw it this morning. Let me look at my history, because it's like, so he'll go in right there, but you can actually see the full thing. Hold on.
Okay, so he goes in. Interesting. Oh, maybe this is it, Jeremiah.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, so that's another angle. Yeah, that's the thing. There was a better shot though of him going up. They close the door. It was so quick, like you would never know that he went down somehow.
That's interesting. A little switcheroo. I mean, we are at war with Iran, a nation of millions and millions of people that have crazy technology. So,
yeah, we are Charlie Kirk.
So there's been an ongoing, another topic is Mr. Andrew Tate, you know, this influencer, the whole like,
who is he?
Counterculture. Yeah, this is,
no, I'm just kidding.
He's, yeah, I know, right? But this is what stood out to me. And the reason I wanted to show this video is because there does seem to be evidence of lack of due process in the Andrew Tate arrest story, to where somebody in another country signed their name and claimed he had, you know, done atrocities or abuse. And because somebody just said so, he was put into pretty detrimental, rough holding in the U.S. And so he, according to his tweets, which could be skewed, but he's letting this information out through his lawyer, who's then tweeting for him. he was saying that they were keeping him from clean drinking water. They were spraying poisonous, insecticides or something into his cell to when his lawyer came to visit, he got like crap in his eye or something. Like the whole thing is like interesting to me only for what it represents. And what it represents is that influencers that are public enemy number one are being targeted by the justice system are losing the rights of due process that otherwise, we as Americans think we each have, the right to a jury of our peers, the right to, the evidence and the claims against you being presented. But apparently this is not what Andrew Tate was getting. And this is what he had to say after he got out of prison recently.
Disgusting. We have children. This is disgusting. The few fools at DCAW who just came along and told us that the mothers of our children are somehow human trafficking. I've been nice. I've been patient. I've played the game. I've respected the judiciary. I've gone to every appointment on time. But they bust in my house again. And now have come along saying there's 35 victims. All 30 of those girls, 30 of them, have statements in our defense. 30. We've done absolutely nothing wrong. Two more are the mothers of our children, and 2 more have never even been to Romania. Have never even been here. They just found random girls we knew in other countries and made them sign pieces of paper. This is a setup. It's absolutely disgusting. Fair play to that judge who saw through the bullshit and let us free. Okay. And also, one more thing. The media is complicit. All of you are. When they first threw us in jail, when they first put us in there, you're all running around saying human trafficker. None of you said, where's the evidence? Where's the proof? Where's the pictures? Where's the videos? None. 3 years later, they do the same shit. And you're all sitting there going, human trafficking. I'm not a human trafficker, clearly. If you human traffic someone, there is evidence. This is a setup. It's a stitch up. The 3 prosecutors at DCAW in my house, I said, why are you here? There's no case. They said, there's a case if we make one. This is a fucking setup. All of it is. And listen, quiet. I'm not talking to you, sir. Be quiet. Be quiet. Be quiet. This is a setup. It is done on purpose, and it is designed to come up with the most heinous possible crimes to slander our name. And every single Romanian citizen should be disgusted that they are spending millions of euros, wasting their time trying to put innocent men in jail instead of fixing the roads, fixing the hospitals, fixing this country. You have a beautiful country full of beautiful people, and 3 idiots at DCAW have everything. As for money laundering, sure, I'll approach that. Money laundering, no problem. Supposedly we're money launderers because we buy luxury goods and we try and hide that we buy luxury goods for other people and hide our money. If you buy your girlfriend a handbag in Romania, they charge you with fucking money laundering. This is disgusting.
Okay, so another element of this, and the only reason I'm giving Andrew Tate attention is just because he is somebody who's a massive online influencer, but he seems to be the only freaking person arrested for child trafficking, despite the Epstein files and all of this stuff that's come out with the pedos and upper echelons of government and politics and corporations. And yet Andrew Tate seems to be the only publicly arrested sex traffic, the alleged sex traffic. Literally, he ran a pornography business. Like, this is what, he did. But at the same time, Epstein, was calling out all of these rich perverts that were bringing in young girls, and nobody in those cases are being arrested. Like, this is why, to me, this is just such a big distraction. And also it's kind of concerning because we're seeing the state of the American judicial system, not only with things like this, but with like the bricks and minifigs controversy, where you're having governments colluding against people that are coming after corporations or pointing out the YouTubers. So what we're seeing is due process is being systematically eroded because they're going to have a case if they make one. And that's exactly what I saw with that bricks and minifigs topic. And that's what it seems is to be with this Andrew and Tristan Tate, trafficking charges and stuff. Whether you like
good judge out there.
Yeah, exactly. It's not always bad, but it's these inbred good buddy systems all across the United States that are creating corrupt police, creating corrupt politicians. And whatever your opinion is on these guys, it doesn't matter. It's the red flag that it is raising that everybody should be concerned about is the destruction of like the actual, judicial system. But we know that the American judicial system, in a way, has been created to protect certain groups of people and to expose and destroy other people. And as long as you're on the bad side of the equation, you're pretty much screwed. And they're going to get away with whatever they want. Put you 6 feet under, put you in a padded cell. They can, as long as somebody's willing to lie.
Yep. They can and they will.
So listen, guys, we know the system's corrupt. So don't trust the official narratives. They're all propaganda. So did you hear about this Joe Fells guy who died recently?
No.
He was one of those inventor types. He was good buddies with that one guy who created a plastic gasoline generator thing. Well, this guy was going to release some interesting information, apparently like Nikola Tesla-esque information, but there's a troublesome pattern that he has followed, him dying suddenly just before releasing some information that would help mankind at large tap into free energy. Well, they seem to always kill the innovators. So not
that
only
guy too. I was going to do a
this
mysteries on him. This guy.
I think you still should. This guy died before releasing the water-powered car.
Yeah.
Oliver Tree apparently died before releasing a documentary on Antarctica and the ice wall, but also for the fact that he was very connected with crypto and contracting Lockheed Martin skunkworks style people through his parents. And there's some videos out there of him talking about some of this stuff and some clips that he was like freaking out that they were recording him and he didn't know it was going live. And he's like, you got to delete it right away. And then lo and behold, he tries to leave Atlantic Records, start his own thing, starts speaking out more. Boom. Helicopter crash.
Yep.
Nikola Tesla died broke and poor.
Yeah.
Not recognized for what he was
He
doing.
only trusted birds, dude. He only trusted doves or like those carrier pigeons, and he would tie little notes to their legs. Do you know about this?
No, I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
That's
and
fascinating.
they were like, he would go on the roof of the hotel that he was living in and feed them, and they were like his best friends. It's kind of sad. And then that's how he would get his letters out and have his letters delivered. And now we don't have any more carrier pigeons, but that'd be pretty cool to get one of those back. But I wonder what was in those notes.
Wow. We had Charlie Kirk.
We are Charlie Kirk.
Died suddenly after denying 150 million to support Israel. So he was also publicly speaking out against Netanyahu and Zionism, and some of the hidden elements of how the Israeli government kind of had a stand down order during the October 7th attacks. Not only that, just the involvement of Israel in American politics and the skewed view of a lot of our politicians because of money. So he died suddenly.
Netanyahu. How dare
And then
he?
you see what's crazy is you see Erica Kirk and Turning Point USA assume a position that seems contradictory to where Charlie was heading. Like he was starting to speak out about some of this stuff, and then they went full on like, we support and love Israel in everything they do, even the bad stuff.
They had Ben Shapiro at his freaking memorial or whatever. Apparently they weren't close.
Apparently Avicii died right before exposing a child trafficking ring. This makes me think of Chris Cornell and what was the guy you were talking about recently?
Kurt Cobain?
No, yeah. Well, Kurt Cobain obviously was murdered. Oh, yeah. Paul Walker died right before exposing the sex trafficking ring. Although I have heard some pretty concerning things about Paul Walker actually being involved with some of the underage stuff. So, Princess Diana wrote that she thought she would stage a car crash and kill her. and she had all the probably the dirty little secrets of the royal family, of course. Gary Webb, right before exposing the CIA for Iran-Contra affair, was taken out. Not only him, but John McAfee. Do you remember covering John McAfee with Sam? Yeah, that was really interesting timing-wise. John McAfee dies in a foreign country, like it killed in a jail cell, and then lo and behold, hit an entire apartment complex that has one of his safe rooms that probably had his Killman switch or some of his files. The whole apartment complex implodes and just, disappears into the smoke. Yeah, Michael Jackson died right before he could own his record label. Although I thought Michael ended up owning a lot of IP.
He did, but he was broke when he died because spending, and then he was also going through multiple court cases. So not with the child stuff, but with other things musically. I think they're gonna miss the biggest one if you keep playing it. They better have
Danny Casolaro died before exposing secret cabal. Was this the guy you were talking about?
There he is.
Hey,
I have a video. You want to see my video when we're done with this one?
Sure. You got one related to JFK being taken out before.
It's kind of weird that you played this.
Well, he was gonna change AI pack to a foreign agent, and this relates to this ongoing kind of question about the collusion between Israeli intelligence and the US and how they're influencing politics here. But yeah, why don't you play your video, Jeremiah?
Check this. This is a real clip, to my knowledge.
I have made it clear to the Israeli leadership that I do not support their expansionist ideas. The indigenous people of that land have rights that cannot be ignored. We must find a fair solution, not one dictated by any single group.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Yeah, he said that a couple weeks, I think, before he was assassinated.
Yeah, very interesting that you had that clip ready. I know another thing that was related to JFK's assassination was there's that book. It came from Jekyll Island, and it has to do with the Federal Reserve and the monetary system in the States and how he was interested in having a silver-backed currency. And Lyndon Johnson, one of the very first things he signed out of commission as soon as JFK was assassinated was to stop the motions that JFK was moving to kind of thwart the Federal Reserve banking system. That, factional reserve banking is this perpetual system of debt that creates money out of nowhere and just infinitely makes these Rothschild-esque moguls like trillionaires. And unfortunately, everybody else under that system goes into unescapable debt. And so very interesting.
Yeah, he hated JFK. LBJ.
Yeah, just the other day I saw Elon Musk posting this. Now, we covered Fauci's deposition in front of Congress, but apparently the New York Post is now sharing Fauci privately warned of the miscarriage risk linked to COVID vaccines while publicly claiming no issues. Some newly released texts show. So very interesting. Just pregnant women were excluded from the original COVID vaccine clinical trials, yet within weeks of the rollout, Fauci started recommending it for pregnant women. I remember they were doing that. Man. Trust the science. Sometimes the science is a little wrong. We completely made up the science. The science pleads the fifth. Yeah, that's the evolution. Oh, man. Hey, there's a new invention, Jeremiah, that I think you should get. Check this out.
I get that, yeah.
A belly float pro. That looks so awesome.
I hope that's not AI.
I hope it's not AI. I would love to get into that. Oh, let's see. Hey, Jesus's parents realize he's divine as he completes carpentry project without going back to Home Depot one single time. So by the stroke of a pen and flanked by RFK Jr., President Trump established a new U.S. vaccine schedule that decreases the number of jabs from 72 to 11 and spreads them out over multiple visits rather than pumping children full at once. And of course, there's a lot of research about SIDS being linked to vaccine injury and other topics. But to me, like I'm paying attention to this because apparently they're reinforcing the ability for people to sue over religious discrimination, you know, and different things like that. But it is interesting, you know, they're busting down from 72 to 11. And I think even the numerology behind the 72, it reminds me of the 70, you know, nations of Babel and down to 11, which is more of a biblical like number, like, you know, it's one off of 12. And after Judas Iscariot hung himself, there was only 11 apostles. But anyways, it's interesting to me that they're doing this, and hopefully, you know, autism and all that stuff will start decreasing.
What? How dare you?
You know,
I was hoping it would be here in time. I got this I got these cards, and it comes in a pack of 15, so I'm gonna give them away to some people, and I'll sign the back or something. But it says my autism card, where I can get away with anything, or something funny. It's funny. I'll show you when I get it.
It's like your white privilege card, but
right.
you know,
so many.
But
people
you're not
even
you're not even a white guy. You are an autist, though, right?
I'm an autist.
So, man. Let's see. Here's Tim Dillon. This little interesting clip. I know you watch a lot of Tim Dillon.
I love Tim Dillon.
But,
I've seen him live.
This says the FBI already probably watches this show. Now they're really going to watch it. I can imagine a world where we have homegrown terrorists that start to attack data centers, just like Sarah Connor in, you know, the Terminator series. She was locked up in a mental asylum, apparently. As people resist their own extermination. Let me be very clear to the federal government. I'm not for people trying to fight for their own extermination. They should walk into extinction quietly. I'm saying this for the federal government right now, for JD and Thiel. I would never want to see beautiful data centers maimed by any of these sick people. So it's like totally flipping the script. He's like, look, I'm all for extermination. I'm part of the team. So check this out. It's hilarious.
And he is not being serious, everybody. So these are jokes.
And we want energy. And we want jobs. And I'm here to tell you that that is the old way of life. Water, energy, and jobs are the old way of life. You don't get that. We can't give you the water and the energy. How are we going to run the data center? The data center is the new thing. It's going to power the future of America are these data centers. Now, here's what's going to happen. We're going to have a lot of homegrown terrorists. Now, the FBI already probably watches the show. Now, they're really going to watch it. And I'm not, let me say this right now. I am not for this. Let me say it clear. I'm not for this at all, but I can imagine a world where we have homegrown terrorists that start to attack these data centers. It's kind of already starting to happen, but I can certainly imagine a world where we see more and more of this as people resist their own extermination.
It starts with the flock cameras and it then moves up to the data centers. That's how they kind of create the vigilante justice against these bots.
Which I'm not for. I'm not for people resisting their own extermination. Let me be very clear to the federal government. I believe people should silently become extinct and not bother anybody. I am not for people trying to fight their own extermination. They should walk into extinction quietly and gracefully and with dignity. So I'm saying this for the federal government right now. I'm telling this right now for JD and Teal and the whole gang, the whole kit and caboodle. Would never want to see a beautiful data center maimed by any of these sick people. I believe people need to accept their fate, accept the reality of where we are, that they are simply not needed. Their right to life, blah, whatever that even is, their right to exist, their right to autonomy, their right to freedom, their right to water or whatever. What even is that? Is water in the Constitution? I think not. And thou shalt, or whatever, the 10, commandments. Thou shalt have water. No. The Bill of Rights, you have the right to water? I think not. So here's the deal. I could imagine a world in which people start attacking these data centers because they resist their own extinction. Now, I don't want that world. I don't want that world. I want a world like all the tech people. I believe that the best way forward is to exterminate the human race. I believe that's the only thing we could. And I understand there's questions about that. I get it. I understand that there's questions about the pace of that, the timing of it. Totally. And those are fair questions. It's fair to ask those questions.
So yeah, Jeremiah, are you in support of going into our own extermination willingly? I mean,
well, I love him because he tells it like it is, but he's obviously joking. He had JD Vance on his show and then totally flipped on him when he started supporting. He found out that Peter Thiel was involved in all this, and so that's where I get the term "friends of the show." It's from Tim Dillon. He's great at making fun without making fun. Maybe that's his way around the algorithm. I don't know. But Tim, we'd love to have you on. You're a friend of the show, but really.
So talking about friends, we have in Michigan lately a lot of footage of groups of Muslims celebrating different Islamic holidays in the street, parading, and there's a lot of interesting talk about just the Islamification and migration, especially since so many people from Africa, Morocco, are swarming across the border into Spain. Well, we covered recently some of this topic, how there was a new mosque going up in Japan, and there was a big protest that happened over the mosque. Well, do you know what's happening as of today, leading up till the 18th in a few days? There is a massive biker rally that is planned to happen in Dearborn, Michigan. And I would not be surprised if this is where the ethnic racial divide war begins.
This is to all biker clubs and all motorcycle club presidents. This is to all bikers out there. We need you to join us in our crusade in Dearborn, Michigan. White Rabbit wants to see the thunder of the bikes come down on Dearborn, Michigan on August 18th at 6 p.m., backing up me and Jake Lang along with Pastor Lorenzo. The time is now, Crusaders. We need to descend on Dearborn, Michigan, defend Jake Lang and other Crusaders as we show Islam you are not going to take our country by force.
Between
it's in Dearborn, right?
The Leering Center?
No, the Henry Ford Museum. That's where Henry Ford is buried, and that's where he wrote the International Jew and stuff. So it's kind of interesting that all this stuff is happening over there.
I think you're onto something. I think the location and the fact that Ford was who he was, and that the OG text was probably located there. It's setting up for the grand clash of Albert Pike's Third World War letter, right? And what we're seeing here is the Crusader-like bikers, as far as the eye can see, are on their way to Dearborn, Michigan for a town meeting. Town square meeting, and they're gonna look at this.
Not one Ford. Look at that.
So this motorcycle rally heading towards Dearborn, Michigan, is going to meet on the 18th of August, I believe it is, and they're heading to the town square center. Now, this is the city with the largest native Muslim population, and now you have a lot of these American crusaders heading up there. What
I just remember when I told people that I was going to the Henry Ford Museum in Dearborn, Michigan, they were like, "Watch out for the Muslims," and I was like, "What are you talking about?" And I went there, and there were a lot of them. I mean, it was like a different country when we were like at Walmart. It was crazy.
Wow. Well,
the only white people we saw were at the Henry Ford Museum. We're nerds like us, you know.
Us Caucasians like our history, just like the Brits. I love that segment that Oprah had for his "Please Excuse My Sense of Humor." That was like joking about the British museum system and the Alibaba and his 40 preservers or whatever, not thieves.
Mm-hmm.
Man, but so how are these roves of people being stirred up? How does the cultural conflict become influenced by the AI algorithm? How do people get motivated to become these vigilante justice warriors going out to smash flock cameras while simultaneously also teaching their system who's willing to go and destroy their flock cameras so that they can go ahead and preemptively take out anybody that might preemptively try to take out their AI data centers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the previous owner of Twitter, Jack Dorsey, says we're being programmed by black box algorithms. I just want to read this because it's very interesting. Jack Dorsey spent years questioning how much control social platforms should have over what people see and how information spreads. His concern is that recommendation systems can slowly shape a person's feed until the same viewpoint start feeling like the whole internet. That becomes harder to notice when every click teaches the platform what keeps you watching, angry, curious, or coming back again. So Dorsey has pushed for more open social systems, partly because he believes people should have more control over the algorithms shaping their attention. You know, of course, this is the same guy that was around when Twitter kicked President Trump off, and banned him back then.
And everybody. I mean, he kicked everybody off. Alex Jones.
The censorship. Yeah, it's so funny. The spokesperson against these algorithms was also the head bastion of government propaganda and censorship during the COVID days, So, man, it comes full circle. Very interesting. Hey, I showed that video of the inventor that was taken out. The man who was going to release free energy. Well, this is his buddy who just released the announcement that they're going to create a gas station in Atlanta, Georgia, that runs on plastic. So check out his little announcement here.
Invest fast. Atlanta. Listen when I tell you, I've created my own gas station that turns plastic waste into gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel. What I do is I
get him a bodyguard.
Microwaves, which are powered off of solar, to then turn plastic waste into fuel with my machines. It works through the process of this. Plastic is made of petroleum. I want you to think about plastic as the solid form of petroleum, just like how ice is the solid form of water. You put plastic inside of a chamber that has no oxygen or has no air inside of it, and then from there, the microwaves will heat up the plastic and break it apart on a chemical level, but it can't catch on fire because there's no air or no oxygen. And a fire needs air to exist, right? So without air...
I like his suit a lot.
It breaks down back into its petroleum components, into petroleum vapor. And that petroleum vapor can then be condensed back into liquid petroleum, just like how it's back into water, like rain. We're condensing the crude oil vapor back into crude oil liquid. And now that crude oil liquid is just like crude oil. We can put it in a refiner and then get gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel out of it.
Wow. So this crazy announcement. This guy needs a bodyguard, like you said. But I like how he can very simply break down on how he figured out how to make this work.
Yeah.
He literally gave us, I mean, I've seen his videos. He's got these big old like pressure chambers, and they pump the oxygen out, and he's microwaving these plastics that they turn into this vapor, and he collects it. And I've seen him have these big old bottles of gas, of plastic gas. And so he's done some expos where he actually like would pour it into a nice car and the car would start up. So he was a friend with this other guy that just suddenly died. So man, it just
sad.
Yep, sad. In other interesting technology news, here's a clip of some laser mosquito guns that China has been implementing. Apparently, China doesn't mess around when it comes to mosquitoes.
I don't either. I want one of these so bad. With his peppers?
Yes. So they literally shoot lasers and burn the mosquitoes out of the sky using AI to target and track.
Love those. Kill those bastards.
That is so cool. All right, would you get one of these for the house, Jeremiah?
Absolutely. I'm looking on Temu right now to see if I can get one from China. I really do. I would love one of those. And I saw there was a guy in the US that actually had one in his yard, and it would go and it would just shoot him. And if any of you know me, you know that I hate bugs. Like, I love bug holocausts. And when I say that, you have to watch my how to kill those little pissant flies. You know what I'm talking about? And they get in your face and you do that.
Oh, those are so annoying. Yeah,
I know how to get rid of them.
Drain flies. Oh, those are the worst.
You get apple cider vinegar, Vinegar as I call it, and then some Dawn dish soap, and you just put it in there. And I'll put a link to my how-to video in the description. But it's my version of a how-to video, so it's very humorous.
Nice. Well, the last story I wanted to cover today, Jeremiah, this is really interesting. Let's first show this meme, right? This meme is the evolution of the Democratic Party, right? They used to be the Civil War, like, South, and then the KKK, and then they were these guys, and then they were the hippies, and then they were the guys, in suitcases pushing Contra, like the CIA bros. And then they, got all tranny and they started dressing up with the LGBTQ stuff. And nowadays they're in full hijab, Islamic voting Democrats, which is contradictory if you understand, the beliefs of of Muslims versus their view of, sodomy, right? Well, I do think it's super funny that the evolution leads up to somebody wearing a full hijab robe, because just today, a preview was released of James O'Keefe Media Group dressing up in a full hijab to prove voter fraud.
Million Muslims living in America today. Here's where they live. They're predominantly sequestered into states that are sanctuary states for illegals, and also have lavish welfare programs and daycare funding programs. California, for instance, has 500,000 Muslims. That's where Hassan Piker lives. Illinois has 470,000 Muslims. This is where Barack Obama lives. Just kidding. Barack Obama lives in Martha's Vineyard. And Hawaii, that actually is the state with the least number of Muslims. Strange that, isn't it? New York has 720,000 Muslims. And of course, Zoran Mandami is the Muslim mayor of New York City. And while this might be alarming to you, because it is, of course, fraying the fabric of America, these are the states that have a deleterious decline in quality of life People are fleeing these states more than any other state in America. That's a matter of absolute fact. And of course, the quality of life is collapsing. I'd like to bring your attention to Minnesota, specifically Minneapolis, Minnesota, that has 400,000 people in it, but 100,000 Muslims, meaning that Minneapolis, Minnesota is well on its way to becoming a Muslim majority city, maybe the first large-scale city that is a Muslim majority in our country. And how did this happen exactly? Well, it happened because the rules allowed for it to happen. Our leaders demanded that it happen. And now that's being taken advantage of by undercover journalist Cam Higbee, James O'Keefe, and their squad called the Justice League of Journalists, who decided to wear hijabs to expose voter fraud. Watch this. Oh, no.
So what's so funny to me is James O'Keefe, he's known for sending in like the gay boy to talk to the other gay politician assistant, or sending in the honeypot sexy lady to go in and swoon some guy to get information out. And now to prove voter fraud and like how they're skewing the system, he's in a full-blown costume. And to me, it's just like the funniest, like the natural progression of events has led him to wearing a full hijab to prove that they are just letting anybody get in there and alter the system in these states.
That's great.
Oh my. All right. So
yeah,
let's start from the top.
Yesterday, he went to Minneapolis disguised as a Muslim woman. Poll workers were going to let me vote in their people's name, in other people's names, and then vouch for 8 other registered foreigners. So I'm not going to play this whole video from Benny, but I just wanted to show the visuals. It's so interesting that we know that there was already a effort to increase illegal immigration because the democratic social programs allowed them to survive, be provided for. It's the Obama phones, it's the hotel stays, it's the welfare checks for these illegal immigrants that then vote illegally to put democratic politicians in. And now I finally understand that this makes the conflict between the LGBTQ side of democratic politics pair up with the pro-Islam, pro-Palestine side of politics. And here's why. Because if you wear a hijab and don't have to give your identity, you can just keep going back in the place and you'll act like a new person, a new voter. And so, a guy who comes in there off the street, and doesn't have a costume on can only vote once in a falsified way. But if you wear a full body hijab, you can probably vote 8, 9, 10 times. You just have to talk a little bit different as soon as you walk in the door, so they think you're a different person because they can't tell you're wearing a full black hijab.
Hijab.
Good job.
Good job, hijab.
Oh man, it's crazy. All right, Jeremiah, that's all the news for this week. Kind of a crazy time and very interesting. I love where tech's going lately. We've been covering that a lot. And I love that skateboarder that skateboarded on the eclipse. Like, man, literally one of the coolest things that I think has happened this year.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Jake, for another great current news as always. And now it's time for all new History's Mysteries. So, Jake, do you remember the movie The Secret?
I don't think I've ever seen it.
No, The Secret. It was like a documentary, and it was like how you can make millions. Like if you just believe it, it's all this hippy dippy nonsense, and everybody believed it in the 2000s because Oprah Winfrey. Well, we'll get into that. But did you know that it actually, like, people died because of this movie, and like I know people that love this movie, like that actually still believe it, like Hulk Hogan. But yeah, let me just start with this first clip.
In 2007, an old lady went on Oprah Winfrey's TV show to talk about an ancient secret she uncovered.
Gave me a glimpse of the secret. It was like a flame lit inside of my heart.
One that had been hidden away since the beginning of time.
Ancient knowledge suppressed, lost, forgotten, until now.
Can the secret get you out of debt? Stay tuned.
This episode of Oprah became the basis for an entire New World religion.
Life can be absolutely phenomenal, and it should be. And it will be when you start using the secret.
Turned to my pregnant partner at the time and said, honey, that's it. This is what I'm meant to be doing. I'll be teaching this.
I kind of like watched it and bought into it.
Really?
Yeah, so I probably saw it and heard it 10,000 times, okay?
However, the closest comparison would be something like Scientology, using celebrities and self-help stuff to prey on desperate people, manipulating followers into draining their bank accounts.
Did you take some people's money?
I think we'll just finish the interview here.
And covering up deaths.
Have you ever asked yourself the question, why is it that bad things happen to good people?
And he stood about 10 feet away from them and listened to them die.
Even both the group's founders got their start in science fiction. It's 2004, and UFO documentary producer Rhonda Byrne's father just died. Her company's failing, and she's broke. That's when her daughter gives her The Science of Getting Rich, a self-help book from 1910 that says the key to getting money is to just think about it. Really hard. From there on enters a manic episode where, as she describes it,
Began tracing the secret back through history. I was on the internet.
in other words, she tears through every new age self-help book she can find, until eventually she sees a massive business opportunity. A vision.
I've been given a glimpse of a great secret.
She realizes every single one of these self-help authors is selling the exact same concept. Manifesting, the law of attraction, whatever you want to call it. They all really suck at selling it to normal people. So Rhonda mortgages her house, puts a diamond on her forehead, rounds up 24 of these authors, and offers to repackage their recycled pitches into one definitive product. The secret.
I knew that I wanted to take this knowledge, and so I used the secret to create the secret.
The method to success is easy. It doesn't work instantly, but it works 100% of the time. And unlike all the other spiritual hocus pocus, it's all based on a scientific law, like the law of gravity.
Now, don't get freaked out. A quantum physics point of view.
While she doesn't talk about any specific study, there are two quantum physicists in the movie to prove it.
When we look around us, even at our own bodies, what we see is the tip of the iceberg.
And that's pretty much all these guys say. The rest is just a free-for-all.
Think of this for a moment. Take your hand and look at it.
Okay.
Now, your hand looks solid, but it's really not. You've got enough power in your body to illuminate the whole city for nearly a week.
Literally.
No.
Parts of our body
Literally?
are replaced every day. Other parts take a few months. But within a few years, we have a brand new physical body.
Disease cannot live in a body that's in a healthy emotional state.
On November 23rd, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I believed in my heart I was healed. I saw myself as if cancer was never in my body. One of the things I did to heal myself was to watch very funny movies. From the time I was diagnosed, which was November 23rd, to the time I was
This
healed
pisses me
was
off.
approximately 3 months. And that's without radiation and chemotherapy.
Rhonda's mask starts to slip when she makes it clear to the authors that they aren't getting paid in money, but rather in exposure. And she reportedly doesn't want any of them signing fairness contracts because those would attract negative energy. One of the authors decides to push back, and she's edited out of the movie entirely. Then when the director asks about the 50% share he was promised, Rhonda responds by firing him on the spot and leaving him stranded in California with no passport to get back to Australia. Did he manifest that wrong? Over the next 2 years, there's a global financial crisis and a sudden surge in spiritual awakening.
Eat, pray, love. Rated PG-13.
With everyone now poor and delusional, the stage is set.
So the Black Queen Messiah, as some would call her, Oprah Winfrey. But I remember my mom used to believe in this kind of thing, or she did for a while, and I hope that it's not what convinced her not to, seek real treatment. But anyways, let's go on with the Black Messiah Antichrist lady, Oprah Winfrey, as some might call her.
Around this time, getting Oprah Winfrey to recommend your product is like winning the lottery. Millions of people watching around the world ready to buy anything she recommends. One time she talked about this boot company for around 20 minutes. And now it's UGG.
We had 25 minutes of nothing but UGG when Oprah was at her absolute peak.
We were already in the millions, but it went into the hundreds of millions and the billions eventually.
The Secret got 2 full episodes.
In one day, 6 people told me about this DVD. The secret to creating the life you truly want. Make more money, lose weight, fall in love, land your dream job. Isn't that amazing?
Hey, were you gonna mention that it also cures cancer? She has on Rhonda and a bunch of the authors from the documentary, or as they're now known, the teachers of The Secret.
The most powerful law. The law of attraction.
We create our own circumstances.
Yes.
We create our own circumstances. I think this would be amazing to start your children with this kind of thinking. Don't you, Rhonda? Yeah.
Totally.
They all get exposure for their books and side gigs, as was promised.
She featured experts who not only teach this law of attraction that they call The Secret, but say that their phenomenal success is because they know the secret.
Overnight, it soars to the top of the New York Times bestseller list and stays there for over 200 weeks. At the same time, it becomes the best-selling nonfiction book of 2007 and even sells more than the last Harry Potter book. They did it.
And I had my buddy who had to deprogram the navigation. So every time you started the car, The Secret would come on the navigation screen. So I probably saw it and heard it 10,000 times, okay?
Everyone wants to know The Secret, but not everyone likes what they learn.
I wouldn't be surprised if there were people who listened to The Secret and then got the idea in their heads that they shouldn't go to a doctor if they get sick, because that will make them think about their illness more.
One of the women in the film cures herself of cancer by visualizing herself healthy and not taking medical treatment. I don't think that's good medical advice, and I don't think it's good psychological advice.
John, what is new about The Secret? I mean, a lot of people are saying, look, this is just kind of the same old self-help stuff, just repackaged in a much clever way.
The thing that's new about The Secret is there's a lot of new scientific evidence that's coming up now in quantum physics and in neuroscience that's really showing us that our thoughts do control the vibration of our body and every cell in our body.
There's also the fact that The Secret, while it ties all these teachers together, it's ultimately just a billboard for these teachers to funnel people into buying stuff from their other businesses. They range from books about magic to blatant scams. Scams that have now been promoted by Oprah Winfrey. One example is this guy, David, who's in the movie as an investment guru.
When it comes to creating wealth, wealth is a mindset.
Okay, that's not good.
When he became the only Australian to appear on the print and film phenomenon The Secret, his star and money-making potential exploded.
So what if I just visualize checks coming in the mail? So I just visualize a bunch of checks coming in the mail. And it's amazing. Today, I just get checks in the mail.
Yeah, those checks in the mail came from people like Warren here.
Turned to my pregnant partner at the time and said, honey, this is it. This is what I'm meant to be doing. I'll be teaching this with the teachers of The Secret. Unfortunately, David was the only teacher in Australia.
His new group of students soon find out that his unique spin on The Secret is that he can't teach you how to use it. But if you give him your money, he can use it to buy himself a new pool.
How many spas?
Got 4 spas.
Or use it to buy himself a $500,000 dining room table.
$250,000 for a dining room table.
It's not bad, is it? Wealth is a mindset.
Claudia put in $28,000, George $48,000, Ralph and Danielle $96,000.
And David will then trade those funds on the futures stock market.
What happened to that fund?
Well, we don't know.
Wealth is a mindset.
This news station did an in-depth sting operation where they confronted him about it.
He has no clue that the people he's about to meet, he already knows. Do you think you'll be able to solve their problem?
You can suggest some ideas and
let's have a look.
Okay.
David, show us where the money is. We want our money back.
I invested with him because I felt I trusted him, and that trust is just being abused.
He's a man that's going around saying that he's a multimillionaire.
All he wants to do is just make as much money as he possibly can, and to hell with everybody else.
And a solution?
Who do you want to start with?
Who do I want to start with?
You recognise all those people?
I recognise all those.
How much money do you owe people?
I don't believe I owe people any money.
And he'd been doing this since before The Secret.
So, yeah, it was a pretty popular movie, and a lot of people saw it. A lot of people, fell into this weird little secret cult thing. But, yeah, let's just go ahead and finish this last clip, and then we can talk about it.
Same thing for the most infamous of the teachers, James Arthur Ray, who's one of the main reasons The Secret lost its mainstream clout. The movie makes him as much of a celebrity as Rhonda. He infiltrates all the celebrity circles and gets his own appearances on all the big shows. But that's not why he's here.
2 people, not breathing, was no pulse.
Is this result of a
I remember when this
shooting or
happened
something?
too.
No, it was a sweat lodge.
A sweat lodge?
Yes.
Okay.
His courses are set up to make you pay to climb to new levels, and maybe if you do enough of those courses, you'll become part of his inner circle and be able to go on one of his big retreats. These spiritual warrior retreats get pretty weird.
Connie Joy volunteered at his events, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to be enlightened. At one point, she even facilitated participants bending rebar with their throats, but had a falling out with Ray when he started pushing his followers to scale Machu Picchu at a dangerous pace.
Kept trying to top himself each year. Then it's just going to head in one direction, and that's disaster.
Then at one in 2009, a woman plunged to her death from a San Diego parking garage where Ray had followers, quote, role-playing as homeless people. She had no identification on her, and he left the scene without telling authorities, just like the victims of his seminar 9 months later in the Arizona desert, where his most loyal followers pay upwards of $10,000 to enter this makeshift hut made out of tarps.
It was designed to be almost a religious awakening for those who took part.
Over 200 degrees for 2 hours. People start vomiting, passing out, and getting dragged out unconscious.
One guy, he had fallen into a pit of molten rocks, and he had burned his entire arm. And he was sitting there staring, not reacting to the burned arm. And I was trying to take care of him. His mindset was getting back into there. He said, I'm not done.
He went back in?
He went back in.
He went back in, she says, because of the enormous power that Ray had over his followers.
Ray's response:
when you have faced your own death and you've overcome it, then life's never the same. It's really just not.
And in the days before the sweat lodge, you can hear him reference himself as God.
No one can talk to God.
3 of the people lose their lives, and 18 others are hospitalized. Ray flees the scene but is later arrested and is sentenced to 20 months in prison. The Secret loses most of its mainstream clout. Even Oprah tries to distance herself.
But I don't vision board anymore because I am a powerful manifestor.
You've heard the term vision board,
After 20 months, James Ray is free and goes straight to Pierce Morgan to start his redemption tour.
It's about as low as your life
Pretty much,
possibly have got, coming down from this huge high. What the hell were you thinking?
In prison, first of all, I was scared to death.
After that, he dies. The Secret isn't lost to time. Instead, it transforms and becomes unrecognizable.
They will come crawling back to you, crying, wanting to be with you after listening to this video. Only one time.
And I have come to the park and decided I'm going for a walk and that the rain would stop and the sun would come out as soon as I parked the car, which is now, within 5 minutes of parking the car. I'm going for a walk now. I'm going for a walk now. Must shine and the sun, stop. 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 Stop.
As for Rhonda, she continues to hustle off into the sunset.
I believe this is one of your first sit-down interviews in person since you did Oprah about 16 years ago.
That's true.
We're talking about the Secret Manifestation Cards by Rhonda Byrne. Make sure you guys get a few of these decks. I don't think I've seen a deck this beautifully done. The design, the artistry, I just want to frame these.
They're like pieces of art.
Get inspiration.
And by law of attraction, like if you wake up in the morning and draw a card,
So that was the Secret. And I remember I had a vision board as a kid. It was like a real thing. And everybody was all about this thing. And it literally killed people that believed in it and, wouldn't go to their doctor, whether that be people that went to these retreats or whatever. So it was all nonsense, so
Wow.
crazy. And then she
really
created
popular
those little
too.
cards. Yeah. Yeah, it's what do they call that? New age bullshit.
Yeah, now it's like manifesting and stuff like that. And in a way, it's very similar to kind of the Olstein prosperity gospel-esque mindset. It's just kind of the Christian veneer to that, where you just keep it in your mind, of what you want, and send them a check, and then it'll come true. Your greatest wishes will come
tenfold.
true.
Tenfold. Yeah. But that I like exposing things like that because it's just I didn't know that it was so cult driven, because it really is like Scientology, because it started off with a bunch of science fiction authors getting together, which was like L. Ron Hubbard. But yeah, that's all I got for that topic. But I do have a very funny volume. Please excuse my sense of humor. It's pretty epic. So here we go.
Ready.
I should put Steve up here next.
Why do
hot dogs come in a pack of 12 when I can only fit 10 up my arse. I've tried and tried, it never goes well. Always.
I can't breathe. 999. Waiting for the exhale. I test my pain with my wishes in a wishing well.
Have you ever heard Jewish hip hop?
I will always jump for joy because I am I it. Just because I am I it. Just because I am I it. I will always jump for joy because I am I it.
I've got a meme here that I put in my stack and I've lost.
Yes.
But man, does it say it all. Can't find it now.
I am speaking to you from a remote location deep in the heart of the Andes Mountains in the country of Peru. I want to assure all of you around the world that I am safe, and I am here to avoid detection by my relatives and the authorities who wish to place me in an insane asylum. I will keep you posted on my progress. Goodbye for now.
Godspeed, sir.
So why were you holding her hand? Is that the way we stand? Were you lying all the time? Was it just a game to you? But I'm in so deep. You know I'm such a fool for you.
And the hair too. Cats are Nazis, dude.
I couldn't find a safe house, so I'm going to hide in the bushes for the night. I have to travel under cover of darkness in order to avoid detection by the authorities. I'll be on my way early tomorrow morning. I'm not going to let them take me back to that insane asylum. I'll keep in touch. Bye for now.
So I know several Chris's. I'm going to send this to them. Every birthday they have. I didn't know they filmed my house.
In America, it's called Little People of America.
I've actually coined my own phrase. I prefer the term nigger with an M.
Jake, this reminded me of you. I don't know why. Oh, man. That's the best impression. There we go. Keep going.
Gay. People move to like a white place like Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and I don't think one person moves there and says, you know what we need here? I just had a brilliant idea. This party's missing one thing. A black family. Like, no one's saying that.
Benjamin Netanyahu, if you can hear this, the loud black woman at the movie theater is close to developing a nuclear weapon. Benjamin Netanyahu, take care of it, please.
Who's got booze?
I heard that you say that if a Jew does not keep Shabbat, doesn't keep kosher, he is then a goy.
Absolutely, that's the law.
So then I am a goy.
Absolutely.
Yes!
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on
This
you.
is in the iPet Goat 2 video. He does like a weird hand.
Germans make really good cars.
Yeah, they do.
I think the Japanese make better ones. Germans had a really cool leader at one time.
I don't know why this movie you left so much. I don't really know where it comes from.
They were looting and
Who's
carjacking.
they?
The criminals.
Yeah. Who are?
Mostly black.
Nick, you know, I
Is that not true?
yeah, maybe, Nick. I don't know.
I don't know where these cities are, right? I don't want to go there. Just because they don't seem very fun. But they be balling. Off the government. Yeah.
What is going on here? Breakfast!
So while everybody's thinking about something else, there's the good old Jet Set.
This is my house. Entry, please. He is my neighbor, Nur Sultan Tuliakbay. Pain in my assholes. I get a window from a glass, he must get a window from a glass. I get a step, he must get a step. I get a clock radio, he cannot afford. Great success.
Great success.
Mm-hmm. You're learning so many important things, and I'm so proud of you.
So yeah, I have a good video for the beginning and the end. Kind of like Heinrich and Himmler, the cat and dog that I used to have in all of them. Might add him back at some point, but we'll see. What was your favorite one, Jake?
The 9/11 one where it says if a woman flew the plane.
Oh, don't laugh at 9/11.
No, I don't. I'm not laughing
tragedy
at 9/11. Like I'm laughing.
No.
It would have never happened.
That's what Norm would have said. He would have said, "Don't you laugh at 9/11" to his co-host. And that's the one dude where I was like, I met at the Comedy Mothership. His name's Adam Egget, and nobody would know him unless you knew Norm. But I shook his hand. And I was like, dude, I'm such a big fan.
He was his co-host.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah. But that's all I got for Please Excuse. You guys let me know which one was your favorite. And it can be as messed up as possible. You know, I don't mind, you know. And, you know, tomato, potato, as they say. You know, some people get it, some people don't.
What was that word that you said I said so differently? We were getting out at the store, and you guys both joked about it. I said something funny, like really weird.
I don't know, but I know Opa used to say exclamation point.
Exclamation
point. You could tell him that it's exclamation point, but he till the day he died, he said explanation, and for because of that, I will always say it explanation point in honor of him.
Explanation point.
Yeah, so our Sunday live stream will have comedian Tino Sanchez joining us, and it's gonna be pretty epic. So that's all I got. And yeah, any final thoughts, Jake?
Did you want to show this picture you have down here?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Look at this cool photo. I thought it was cool. I might make it a postcard for our Patreons, and if you guys want to join our Patreon, you definitely should. I send out monthly postcards and all that good stuff. So
awesome.
Yeah. All right. Well, in honor of Opa, happy trails to you until we meet again. Adios, amigos.
Peace out.
and a special comedy night with the headliner, Sam Tripoli. You are not alone. November 7th and November 8th, get your tickets at TrutherCon.com.
Like what we do here on Skiba News Nation, please like and subscribe. And also share with others so we can grow the biggest truth-seeking community on the internet. Huge shout out to all of our Patreons out there. If you like bonus content, you want some extra Skiba News Nation stuff, please go to patreon.com/Skiba News Nation.
Son of the legendary Ross Jeremiah Skiba.
It's like I don't even want to wake up.